in preparing for your test on Thursday, I would make sure that I had a copy of this or I had access to this while taking the test, and I would refer to it often. And you are allowed to use this. It shouldn't have any writing on it, but if it does, I understand that. And so we're going to go over area and surface area. So it says determine the circumference and area of the circle. Use 3.14 for pi. So circumference, and I'm going to look on my chart to double make sure, circumference equals 2 pi r or pi d, depending on what I want. Okay, so this is, I have an r equals 7. So 2 pi r, which is 2 times pi times 7. And when I put that in the calculator, I would multiply 14 times 3.14, and I would get 43.96. And to the 10th, let's do it to the 100th. So this is the 100th. So 2 digits. Area is, and I'm going to do area equals 2 pi r squared. So area of a circle is pi r squared, which is pi 7 squared, which is 49 pi. And 49 times 3.14 is 153.86. And that would be inches squared, and this would be inches. Okay, I'm going to pay attention to how I label things also. I'm going to use this box for area, and then I'm going to do this for circumference. So I have d equals 34. And in circumference, there's a formula with d, so it's pi d. So I'm going to do pi d, which is 3.14 times 34. There's my substitution. There's my formula. There's my substitution. Now I get my calculator out. 3.14 times 34, 106.76. Circumference means I'm wrapping around. That means it's units, so it's inches. Area equals pi r squared. If I have a diameter of 34, I need to divide it by 2 to get radius, so radius is 17. This is pi 17 squared. 17 squared is 289, so 289 pi, and 289 times pi, 3.14, is 907.46. Area is inches squared or units squared. Area of shaded region, divide by 4. Wrote it really big because that's a quarter of a circle. So I'm going to do area equals pi r squared equals pi 8 squared equals 64 pi. 64. Now I'm going to divide by 4 right now. So area of quarter circle is 64 divided by 4 pi, which is 16 pi, and 16 times 3.14 is 50.24 inches squared. Divide by 2, because it's a half circle. Area is pi r squared. I have a diameter of 28. So my radius is 14. So this is pi 14 squared. And 14 squared is 196 pi. And then I'm going to divide it by 2 because it's only half a circle. And so I get 98 pi for area of half a circle. And 98 times 3.14 is 307.72 meters squared. Notice I write the formula. Notice I substitute in. I do some math to show you what I'm doing mentally. And then I come down here and I have, I show you that I had to divide by 2. And then I have my final answer. Find the area. I'm going to need a right angle. Make sure that there's right angles on there because you need to find it. So area of a triangle is 1/2 BH. If you don't remember, refer to your chart, your star chart, and there it is. Remember on circles, don't forget the half. 1/2 base times height, 10 times 5. And that's 1/2 of 5, that's 25. Half times 10 times 5 is 25 feet squared. And then we have the circle shown has an area. What is the radius? So I have area equals pi r squared. So if I have the area, 530.66 equals 3.14 times r squared. To get rid of the pi, I divide both sides by pi. And so I have 530. I have 530.66 divided by 3.14. And I get 169 equals r squared. Remember to get rid of r squared. We're familiar how to do that in that math because we did Pythagorean theorem. So I take the square root of both sides. And the square root of 169 is 13. Okay, so my radius is 13. And my diameter is twice the radius, so it's 26. Okay. Pi is the ratio of any circles to its whatever. Okay, so ratio, remember that circumference equals pi d. And so if I want pi by itself, I divide by both sides by d, so I get circumference of d equals pi. Here's my ratio, because ratio means fractions. So is the ratios of any circle's circumference to its diameter. And remember we talked about the diameter. If I took a diameter and I pulled it outside the circle, it would go 1, 2, 3, and a bit around the circle. So the circumference to the diameter equals pi, or pi equals circumference to its diameter. And that is the first page of your review.